A week away from competition does not mean the Spartans are taking it easy. Cohesion stems from repetition and consistently pushing one another to the next level. For this young group, the grind never stops. The goals remain the same. Learning from others is a skill that is tough to master. For redshirt sophomore Jerad Rosburg, he's soaked in lessons from many along his path to Michigan State.
My dad coaches football. He would switch jobs, and in the football ranks, you're always trying to, move up and find the next best opportunity. And he was pretty good at what he did, so he just kind of kept building up to better and better universities, and then the pro, and then I ended up in Baltimore with John Harbaugh, one of his best friends, coaching side by side with him. So they've been friends for like 25 years, and for them to be able to coach together side by side is really cool. Being around the players, being around the other coaches, you kind of get a feel for the pro lifestyle, the high-end sports, like how you should act, how you should prepare, how you need to train. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons through football that I've tried to translate to hockey. My dad wakes up at like 4:30 in the morning, and then he's at the facility all day until like 11, and just like seeing him, put those hours in, it makes you realize like how hard you got to work to get where you want to go. So I just think growing up watching him work set a good foundation for me, and like a good role model to strive to be like.
Jerad's father led him to another role model, one who Jerad would strive to represent every time he took the ice.
So O.J. Brigant, he used to play for the Baltimore Ravens. When he retired, he took over as a player development, which player development role is kind of more off the field, like helping them in like their personal life and helping them grow as a man, and just anything kind of do to developing like the human themselves. And when I got to Baltimore, he was very nice to me. He kind of took me under his wing because I was around the facility quite a bit. He'd always show me around and hang out with me and talk to me, and he really cared about me, even though like I was just like a new kid. So shortly after he got diagnosed with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, watching him struggle through that it's still pretty tough. And watching him go from this big, strong man to being in a wheelchair was it's tough to take. And I admire his courage and I admire his attitude, because even today, he's one of the happiest guys. He has like a animated computer system that he can talk through, and he's always cracking jokes and trying to talk to everyone he can, and like tries to smile and like, raise his eyebrows if you say something funny. I put OJ on I have it like engraved on my stick next to my name. It's like Rosburg, and that says OJ right below that. And then I put it just OJ on the tape at the top of my stick, just so like throughout the game, if I like glance down or like my stick, like this kind of reminds me of OJ, like, kind of give me a little motivation, like who I'm playing for, who I'm trying to represent. Also, when he got diagnosed, I switched my number to 57 because that was his number growing up, and that was his number in the NFL when he played for the Ravens. I kind of wanted to honor him. I was in youth hockey time, and every team where they allowed me to pick my number, I've picked 57. And when I committed here, one of the last questions I asked before I committed, I was like, I can wear 57, right? And they're like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, okay, we're good then. It just, whenever I see, even on tape, just watching myself or seeing pictures and like, seeing the 57, it's something bigger than myself that I'm playing for. And I feel like I'm trying to, carry his like, I guess, playing legacy on through the number. When I see OJ and I talk about OJ, it just inspires me to do everything I can, because opportunities can be limited. And yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't really know how to explain it, but you just like, you see OJ and it puts everything in perspective. My neighbors played hockey. I always would kind of watch them. Even though I was tiny, I'd always watch them play and just kind of wish I could play with them. And my first like memory is just like my neighbor's house and them playing street hockey. That's like the first thing I can remember. Mesmerized by it, and You know, when you see like the older kids around you playing, you kind of want to follow in their footsteps, and it kind of started from there. My mom is an unsung hero, and she does not get as much credit as she deserves. My dad always being at the facility. There's only one person at home taking care of the kids, and I have 2 other sisters, so there's 3 of us growing up. My mom pretty much had to take us everywhere just herself, like any sporting event, any school, anywhere we had to be. The schedule in hockey itself is pretty absurd at a young age. Like, you're always practicing early mornings, you're practicing every day of the week, you're going to Canada, you're traveling across the country when you're 10 years old. And she loves her kids, and we're very appreciative of everything she's done for us.
With the support of his parents and a family connection with the school, Michigan State University had always been a special place to Jerad.
Ever since I was little, I've been an MSU fan because we have family friends that work at the school. My dad roomed with Coach Izzo at Northern Michigan. They're both grad assistants. You know, watching Coach do his thing kind of growing up, but MSU basketball was like my favorite sports team. When it came time to get recruited for hockey, it was definitely one of my first thoughts. It was just like, wow, it'd be cool like if I could play for the team that I grew up cheering for.
Jerad is a kid I've known most of my life. Selfishly, I'd like to see him here, and so he came for a visit, and we spent some time together. And he's a big, strong, tough kid, and good student that cares about winning, and he's a true Spartan.
I always kind of knew in the back of my head that it'd be tough to beat MSU, no matter how cool other places could be, because MSU is like where my heart was and where I always wanted to play, and it just like seemed right because of the family, and my dad almost like predicted it. I was like, yeah, it's just like all those things like combined, it just seemed like the right fit.
Jerad had found his perfect match in a school. However, his nagging injuries were getting to be too much, leaving his young career in jeopardy.
I've had 3 knee surgeries, 2 on my right, 1 on my left. When I came here to MSU, I already had 2 of them, and they didn't quite like work out like I wanted. Like, I was still having pain, and I like partially retore. So then I had to get like a 10-month surgery here at MSU, which was tough, obviously, because you want to play. Being a freshman, you want to be in the lineup, you want to contribute, you want to be part of the team, and getting injured and not really being around the team, it was a tough start to college career. Ace, he's been a big help to me, helping me through the injury, always being there, like helping me out with the rehab and the process of that, but also just trying to keep my spirits up, and just being someone to talk to when I'm chilling in the training room with him. He's helped me out a lot too.
Jerad's already built to have that athletic determination to work as hard as he can every day, and I saw that. And the truth is, I had to tell him to back off at times, not to be too aggressive. But when we got too fully healed, it was full throttle for him.
Obviously, the rehab process, when it first happened, you got to take it really slow. I had like a straight leg brace for over a month, and then I could like barely walk or do anything for another month after that. There was for a while, like I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to play again.
Now Rosburg comes in on the right wing. Rosburg out in front.
Yes!
Put it in, a goal for Michigan State. The Spartans get the overtime extra point, I guess you would call it.
What a move by Rosburg.
Kind of beating the odds, I guess, and getting back out there was pretty amazing. Like, the first couple practices, obviously you're focusing on playing, but at the same time, like, you're waiting in line and you're just like, wow, like I made it back. Like, and it was a big moment for me. I proved to myself that I could do it. It made me realize how lucky I am to be back out there and to play the game, and that I kind of took for granted before. And it was definitely a tough hurdle to get over, and it took a while to get back on the ice. So now that I am, I'm thankful every day when I go out there that I can play. I think sports in general is a great teaching tool for life. I mean, you have to work in a team, you have to work hard, you got to work together. When you go through a bunch of trials and tribulations, you definitely appreciate everything a lot more. And to be out there playing is pretty incredible, but you got to put a lot into it, and sometimes you got to pay through injuries, sometimes you got to pay through hardships, and sometimes you just pay with your time, and I believe it's all worth it, and I love doing it. And so, if tough times come along the way, you work through them just like anything else. And, just to be out there playing after all that I've been through is, it's pretty cool. It means a lot to me, and I'm excited to keep it going.
Stepping into Big Ten hockey is nothing to take lightly. This season, 8 freshmen have found their way into Munn Arena and are adjusting to their new competition.
We know as freshmen you have to come in and really try to work hard to earn your spot, but there's 8 of us, so we know there's openings, and we're going to have to really work to not just earn our spot but make a difference on the team.
So I came and just wanted to meet everybody, get used to the school, get used to the living in a dorm, I guess, try to get to know my teammates, and I kind of came with an open mind and didn't really know what to expect, but it's been awesome. Every day has been fun and a new challenge, so can't complain about anything so far.
I think one of our expectations going into the season for the whole team and the freshman class was kind of culture change, and we wanted to get more wins than we had last year. So we've accomplished our more wins than last year, and that cultural change is still coming along. We're still working on it, but I know Coach Cole wanted to take the freshmen in because they're kind of untouched from past seasons and kind of build his culture and build it up from the freshmen up, because it's easier than changing past ways, So I can kind of see the freshmen as a leading class because we came in with Coach Cole with fresh minds.
I think as freshmen, we got to come in and try to make an impact right away. So, meeting some of the guys I didn't know before, like Gino, Kamer, and some guys I'd never played before, it was really cool, really special. And to be able to take that and try to turn it into something big. The program didn't have a great year last year, so trying to come in right away and just make an impact.
Hockey-wise, the speed is the biggest difference. It's just a little bit faster than juniors, a little bit stronger. It's just that next level.
A lot of training, obviously. The sprints was just something I haven't done before like that, to that pace and that standard. So, that definitely helped. It definitely gave us an extra push and drive and made us a lot stronger.
Definitely the first game, especially when they scored a couple quick goals on us, and I realized, holy crap, this is the real deal. You can't mess around. Everyone's good, everyone's talented, everyone's skilled.
And, right when they scored 3 goals in 10 minutes, so that was kind of all right, you're in.
Obviously, our first home game was amazing, the fans, and when they do the fight song after the game, after our first win, that was kind of wow. I've never been around fans that were cheering for me like that, so it was definitely it was awesome experience.
Just the atmosphere, and I was like, wow, this Big Ten's a step above non-conference, and I'm playing college hockey, and I gotta prepare myself for that and kind of pinch myself, snap out of it. Tommy, you got a game to play.
Obviously, I guess coming as a freshman, I'm not going to be the best player, and that's kind of different from years before I was the top guy. I'm not the top guy this year, so I have to kind of get used to a new role. But whatever role that is, I'm happy to take it as long as we're winning games, and that's all that matters.
Hey, regroup, heads up.
As the freshmen learn their new roles and weave themselves into the lineup, it's the veteran leadership that helps guide their path.
You just took it from onside to offside to then offside.
Well, we only have 3 seniors and 4 juniors, so we're really bottom loaded in sophomore and freshman class, but the upperclassmen have been incredible. We have a lot of great leaders, especially the guys who are in the letters, but we have more leaders throughout the whole team.
Minnie, Pav, and Gatter have done a great job, and the juniors also, but when there's only 3 of them, you kind of get to spend more time with each of them personally, and I think they've all taken us in as good as they can, and just have been a great resource for us to use, and they gave us great advice.
It's the little things when you make a mistake or something, or you're having trouble with something on the ice, an older guy will, hey, try this, or maybe this will help out with you, or even just when you're on the line, Gatter talking to me on the ice, or with Louie with Patty and Taro. It's just communication between each other.
Even the sophomores have been awesome. There's so many sophomores, and there's 10 of them. Everyone's been really good. helping me, whether it's either in practice, in class, or just come asking how I'm doing, if I need anything. When we're juniors, I think we're gonna have 18 upperclassmen. You give us some time to mold and mature, and then put us on the ice, and I think we'll be able to do a lot of damage in a couple years.
All of us are pretty much in the lineup every game, so I think he's talked to us a lot about, we're stepping into a situation where, a lot of freshmen come in, they don't really play that much, or they're not in the lineup and stuff, but we came right in, and he one time even joked, he was like, I need you guys to be sophomores already, like we're pretty much playing roles where other guys, as they get older, they're stepping into those roles, but we got Louis on the first line, he's leading the team in goals, so I think he kind of leans on, us, even though we're a younger group, a little more than some teams do with their freshmen.
It's important that we give them opportunities to learn and give them opportunities to grow, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing. And it's right from Tommy Miller and Mitch Lewandowski, who are playing high minutes, whether it's our top pairing on D or our top scoring line, but it's all the way down to Austin Kamer and Gino Estevez. They're all doing a great job, and it's one of the things we'll expect from them will be continued growth. That will probably be the biggest factor in our improvement over the course of is the growth and development of your young guys, because they've got the most to gain in that regard. So we've been real happy thus far, and we'll expect a lot of that moving forward.
We know we're on the rise, and we're getting better every day as a team, and it's also nice how close of a class we are, where we really care about each other and we want each other to succeed, and we push each other.
There's been a couple times where we had 8 freshmen line up, and we all want to play and, like I said, make an impact. So I mean, being able to skate every day with each other and bond off the ice and at the dorms, lift with each other. Watching other guys play, like watching Smitty go out on the penalty kill or Keith on the power play too, it's awesome to see. And I mean, it's more of like a personal thing where you get to see your friends doing well at the same time. So it's awesome.
I think it's a lot of excitement. We're such a young team, and we're already kind of showing that we're right there with the top. I think in the future it's gonna show exponentially, because we're gonna keep learning and we're going in the right direction. It's looking really good for us.
Kind of taking that role that Coach Cole gave us in building the team and the culture, that also goes on the ice. So we know we have a big role for future years, but we know we have a big role now, and we know that everybody on the team is gonna have to contribute. We want to become leaders on the team, and hopefully we can try to get to championships, whether it's Big Ten championship, national championship. We want to build this chemistry off the ice and build it on the ice is the ultimate goal.
What's up, Spartan All Access? My name's Anthony Scarcella. I'm a sophomore defenseman here. Welcome over to the apartment. Show you around a little bit. All right, so this is the famous MTV Cribs shot of opening up the fridge. So nothing major. We just got the basics. Eggs are huge in this house. Everyone wakes up with eggs. All right, next, after you've seen the kitchen, we're gonna walk into my room here. Couple goodies. Drew Miller came and skated with us beginning of the season, so he gave me a stick. That was pretty cool. NHLer, Stanley Cup. I got a couple jerseys from juniors. This was like the all-star game. That was my high school, Captain High School, and then I hung up my varsity jacket. That's a pretty special thing. Of course, can't forget about the first gold puck. I got it off the boards and ripped it, and couldn't tell you where it went, but went in the back of the net, so I was pretty excited about that.
Oh! All right, so here we go. We're entering my room right now. I put this here to let everybody know that this is Zach Osborne's room right here. This is freshman me. I don't think it looks too much like me. Like I get it a lot that I look a lot different today than I did back then. So I don't know, like one of these. But so yeah, this is my room right here. These are a bunch of my jerseys. A couple of them from juniors. This was when we went to the national championship with my Victory Honda team. And then my favorite one is this one right behind my bed here. It was a special jersey for the, I think, 50th year anniversary for the guys that won the 66 national championship. I jumped in during the summer camp as a coach and took a picture with him, kind of as a joke. You know, never really thought anything would come of it, but he ended up signing it and giving it to me, so pretty happy about that. I got my fishing poles. My brother-in-law kind of got me into the whole thing, so I go fishing with him, who is Adam Eaton. Yeah, we do this.
Yeah, it's something I picked up one Easter with. I got a bunch of Easter eggs and I just started going at it. And everyone, my name's Jerad Rosburg.
You might remember me from a little earlier in the show. This is my room. Welcome. I got a lot of stuff. Just reminded me of my past teams, my family, and Ravens, hockey. Big shoe guy. I had a smaller rack earlier in the year, but I had too many shoes and I was overflowing, so I invested in this new 5-story guy here. I got a little putting green here that I like to rip every night a little bit, just to try to get better at putting. Oh, that's how it's done.
That's it. Not bad. Oh, maybe not. Ooh, did that hurt?
No, that wasn't. I'm Brennan Sanford. This is my room. Nothing too special. Obviously got all the essentials, right? Like my bed, closet. I even got a TV. I study here when my roommates, especially Ozzy, aren't bothering me.
I like to mess with Sandy a lot.
Clubs hidden under there. Hopefully I can pull those out in maybe a month or two and start hitting the range. Hard hat here. Sometimes we make Scarce wear it, protect his head. But we went down to Detroit in the summer and checked out Little Caesar Arena before it opened, so that was pretty cool. All right, you guys got to get out. Sorry.
All right, it's been great having you guys. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. We got to get back to a little bit of studying right now and getting ready for the big weekend against Ohio State. So, time for you guys to get the heck out of here. Get out of here. All right, are we done
Do
here?
I look like Miles Bridges or what?
Oh my God.
We good?
Oh, you gotta shut the door then.